related to my camp, I was just going to show y'all a few things that I'll be using during bow season, actually during gun season too. I showed y'all the crossbow I'm going to be using yesterday, sighted it in and all that. I was going to talk about how I climb a tree and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'll be running a Cruiser XC saddle. I used it last year. I've got a tethered Phantom too, but I find the XC from Cruiser to be more comfortable. Since this time last year, I've lost 50 pounds. I guess I'll have to take up the slack on some of these buckles and all that. Climbing method I'm using, this is a Barren Ridge, a little stand that's been developed for saddle hunting. This is a whole lot lighter than toting around a bunch of sticks, and so I used to use a lone wolf hand climber. Converted it to a platform sort of like this. A lot of people were doing that, but Barren Ridge came out with this one. I used one last year. This is actually a newer model, but I used one last year from them, and it worked really well for me. It's light. I usually don't even put it on my pack or anything. I will just tote this in one hand when I'm going to the stand. It's pretty easy to tote. And you know, on social media, a lot of folks will have something negative to say about using this type of thing because they use sticks and say you can't climb a tree with limbs or crooked trees or whatever. Well, that's true, but I hunt in the southeast. I hunt in the deep south, where most of what I'm going to be climbing in is probably a pine tree. And if it's not a pine tree, the rest of our hardwoods and so forth are typically pretty straight. So it's not really an issue. I like in the Midwest where you got a lot of craggly oaks and all that kind of stuff, which is great. I wish we had more oak trees, but we don't. So it is what it is. It's a lot easier for me to climb with this rig than it is to tote a bunch of sticks in and all that. I've been using a climber all my life too, so that has something to do with it as well. Familiar. So, stand, climbing method, running a 511 pack. I think it's a 24 liter. All the typical stuff, saw, clippers, doils, hoist on it, various carabiners, and mosquito repellents, and all that kind of stuff. So what's new for me this year, and y'all be patient with me because I've never filmed hunting. I filmed a lot of fishing, but I've never filmed hunting. This is going to be my first time to try it, and I'm looking forward to it. It means carrying extra gear, so I tried to find the lightest stuff that I could find. A camera arm, I knew I was going to have. And so I found this Lone Wolf custom gear camera arm, very compact, lightweight. It'll fit in this pack pretty easy. You can find demonstrations of this thing, so I'm not going to review it for you. It's just showing you what I'm going to use. Genesis 3D makes a deal that helps grip it onto the tree better. He does a lot of stuff with for saddle hunters with 3D printing. I've got several of his things. This is for the main camera, which my main camera this year is just going to be a simple handy cam. I wanted something very small, but something with a pretty good zoom on it. So it's a Panasonic HC V180. Got 90x zoom on it, very lightweight. I think this thing will work out just fine for me. I forgot to say about the fluid head that I'm going to be using. This is by an outfit called Small Rig. You know, this whole deal is really, really light compared to what, you know, some of the rigs I've seen that guys have that they tote around. I don't know how to tote all that stuff around. The secondary camera I'm going to be running is the one that's filming right now, an Insta360, and I'll be putting it on a selfie stick. And again, Genesis 3D makes a rig that you can put this on a tree and buckle it on, and then your selfie stick is securely attached to the tree. Now, to get around the problem of having to turn the camera on every time, I'm going to use this Ulanzi 10,000 milliamp cylindrical battery and put the Insta360 X3 on this selfie stick. Actually, the battery will go right onto the selfie stick, and then the camera through right into bank, and then a wire will run up to the camera. And that way I can put that camera on loop mode, say a 15-minute loop, and just let it run all the time. Say it runs all day, and then 30 minutes before dark, deer start coming in. Well, it's gonna keep recording over the memory card until, record 15 minutes back until you turn the camera off. You'll keep that, and then you can turn the camera back on, and it'll start the loop over. So I think that's going to be a good solution. Otherwise, if you ran it all day or whatever, you'd probably run out of memory. The other thing is this stick that the X3 is sitting on right now. We do dog hunts out here every Saturday during gun season. So I can take that thing with me. That stick has got a spike on the bottom of it, and it'll raise up to about 5 feet tall. And just stick that thing in the ground and do the same thing, put it on a loop. And when we're having dog chase out here, it'll record, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and keep recording over. So I think it's going to come in handy in that regard. And then this little camera that I've got right here on my cat bill is an Insta360, a Go 2. And as far as I can tell, this thing will do everything that a GoPro will do. I'm looking forward to this business. 3 cameras, Panasonic on the camera arm, Insta360 X3 on this selfie stick that'll be recording me, but it'll also be recording everything right out in front. Of course, it has no zoom, but still, it's recording at 5.7K, so you can zoom in a little bit when you're editing. And the Go 2 that, of course, when something starts happening, all I got to do is reach up and squeeze this thing, and it'll come on. You can feel it vibrate when it comes on, so that works out pretty nice. So that's the camera gear. While it's hot, I'll be running this quick camo, very lightweight, but very good camo. Just wear some light pants and a t-shirt under it, and put this on. I got a jacket and pants and a hat all in this bag. Tote this to the stand, put it in put it on at the stand before you climb, and there you go. I mentioned the broadheads yesterday. I said they were meat something. They're actually called Mega Meat. They're G5 Mega Meat, and they're the crossbow edition. So that's what I'll be putting on my arrows for this bow season. What else? Hey, if you're in the South, bugs are bad. I'm sure they're bad elsewhere as well, but you can imagine in the deep South, the mosquitoes and the ticks and the chiggers and so forth. One of the best ways I found is to keep them off of you is to soak your clothes and your boots down with this Sawyer's permethrin. And you can see that's what I was doing this afternoon. Hopefully I won't get eaten up. It's worked in the past. I made me in case I need an aider for this stand. On the internet, I forget the guy's name, but showed how to make a rope ladder. I think that'll work just fine. I don't think I'll necessarily need 3 rungs. What I'm waiting on is some rope clamps. Waiting on it to come in from Amazon. I'll have it next week. What else? I think that's about it. Plain old Bushnell rangefinder. Oh, the last thing that I've really enjoyed over the years is this Rad Rover electric bike. I've had it for 3 years. I've never had a problem out of it. These baskets and so forth are invaluable. Mounting, toting a gun on the front or boat. You can slip in real quiet. I park my truck, a half mile away, and then I'll slip into where I'm going to get fairly close to where I'm going to hunt, and then get off and go climb a tree or whatever. If I'm hunting where there's a shooting house, I'm going to ride this thing right up and park it underneath the shooting house. So that works out really well. I think that's most of the gear, and wish me good luck. Season starts in the morning. All right, this morning was sort of a shakedown. I wanted to make sure I could set up my equipment, and I was a little bit worried about how heavy my pack was, but wasn't too bad. And got everything going, camera arm working good. Good to be back in the saddle. Like the old Mini up here with the mega meat bald heads. And look like pretty good deer sign in there too. So I'm gonna hit that this afternoon. So I'll see y'all on the stand this afternoon. Hopefully we'll see something. Anyway, hooty hoo. Well, I guess that's going to be all of it for me this weekend. It's Sunday morning, opening day yesterday. I just had some does come in behind me, 3 of them, and I guess my thermals going uphill. They winded me and they all started blowing and ran off. And it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so I think I'm going to go ahead and bug out of here, get all my stuff down, and head back to Baghdad, Florida. So anyways, good weekend. I saw deer on every set. It's tough for us because by law, the first 10 days down here in southwest Alabama, you can only shoot bucks. Well, not here on our club, it has to be 8-point and outside the ears. So we won't be able to shoot does until the 25th of October. Today's the 16th, so still got a bit, but anyway, fun being out in the woods and, you know, making sure all the equipment's working right and everything, and hunting camp trailers doing well. And so anyway, good weekend. We'll be back out here next weekend. I'm not going to spend any vacation time during bucks only. I'm kind of a meat hunter anyway, so like to shoot a couple does. We like to eat them. So see y'all next time.
Hooty hoo!